Hey, my name is Joe, and today I'll be talking about the 7 Leave No Trace principles. Come join me. Leave No Trace is an outdoor ethics program which provides research, education initiatives so that everyone that goes outside and enjoys natural areas can do so responsibly. This program created 7 principles which I'll be explaining in this video, which help you limit your impact on natural areas and so that it can be fun and enjoyable for everyone. The first principle is to plan ahead and prepare. When you plan ahead, you're able to accomplish your goals safely and have fun while minimizing your impact on the land. A few reasons why you should plan ahead and prepare is to provide safety for your group or yourself. It can help you prepare to follow the other Leave No Trace principles, and it ultimately helps you minimize your impact on where you're going. Some ways you can plan ahead and prepare are to make sure you know the rules and regulations of the natural areas you are going to. There's a few ways you can do this. Most of the information can be found online or by contacting the management offices by phone. Another way to plan ahead is to use maps or other literature to know exactly what trail and wilderness area you're walking into. When you arrive, be on the lookout for posted signs and be aware of the different warnings and regulations about the land you are on. There will be signs about camping, wildlife, and fires. The second principle is to travel and camp on durable surfaces. When you travel and camp in the outdoors, the goal should be to move through the natural areas while avoiding damage and destruction to the land and waterways. Most areas have trails that provide a route through the natural area. Even though these trails are impacted land, they are necessary because people will travel through these areas anyway, and so it's better to have 1% of the land used than 99%. Imagine everyone blazing their own trail. That could cause a lot of damage to the natural areas. Trail use is recommended whenever possible, and it is highly encouraged to not shortcut the trail, even on those tiring switchbacks. This also applies to the land that you choose to camp on. This land should be packed down dirt, pine straw, or even rock. You should never put your tent on top of vegetation or soft land. This helps you leave a low impact as well as helps you get a good night's rest. The third principle is to dispose of your waste properly. This principle helps you leave a low impact on the land, the water, other visitors, and wildlife. Let's face the facts, everyone pees and poops, and so it is important to get rid of this waste in a proper manner while in the backcountry. In most cases, burying your feces or waste is the best way to do it. In certain places though, solid waste must be packed out, so make sure you do research in your planning phase to know what the regulations of the area you are in will be. When going to the bathroom in the woods, you should dig a hole, which is called a cat hole, 6 to 8 inches deep, and at least 200 steps from any water source and 100 steps off the trail. After going, you should cover the cat hole with natural materials like leaves and dirt and rocks and sticks to make it look like you were never there. In most situations, toilet paper can also be buried with the cat hole, but check beforehand. You should also pack out any other waste that you might have, like candy wrappers or food waste or anything of that nature. The fourth principle is to leave what you find. This just means to leave the areas just like you found them. This includes picking up rocks, plants, archaeological artifacts, and other objects that you might find interesting. This means that you should be on the lookout for any other places that already seems to have people camping on it, instead of making your new campground. This will limit your impact. If there are already fire rings made, then don't make your own. Use that existing fire ring. If you clear an area, make sure you put things back the way you found them. Avoid damaging live trees and plants. Even though it may be romantic to write you and your loved one's initials in a tree, please refrain from doing that, as it leaves an impact. Picking flowers does not seem like it would leave much of an impact, but if every visitor came and picked the same flower, then all the flowers would be gone. The same idea goes for rocks, sticks, and even antlers. The fifth Leave No Trace principle is minimizing your campfire impact. Even though building a campfire may seem pretty outdoorsy and fun and can be used for a lot of things, it leaves a large impact on the natural areas. The development of lightweight camp stoves have made it so that you can eat and drink warm food and liquids while in the backcountry without the need to build a fire. When you are planning to build a fire, if you choose to do so, you should consider the potential damage it may have to the backcountry. You should consider the restrictions of fire danger in the area. You should also consider the lack or abundance of the flammable material and fuel that you have to make a fire around you, and how quickly the area can replenish this fuel that you're taking from the area. If there's a fire ring, always use that first. If you're going to build a fire, then avoid cutting down or breaking branches from standing or down trees. Instead, look for dead trees and collect small pieces of wood that can break by hand. Gather wood over a wide area and make sure to burn all the wood to white ash and soak thoroughly with water after you are done with it. Then, scatter all the remains over a large area and pack out all your litter. Principle number 6 is respecting the wildlife. One of the best parts about natural areas is that animals often live in them. Because of this, it is important to respect their needs. You can learn about wildlife through quiet observation. Do not disturb them just to have a better look. It is important to observe the wildlife from a distance so that they're not scared and they flee the area. Large groups can often damage the environment and disturb wildlife, so keep your group small. If you have a large group, consider separating a little bit into smaller groups and possibly minimize your impact. As you may know, animals and wildlife can be scared of loud noises and quick movements. When you see an animal, try not to run after it. Travel quietly and do not pursue or try to feed them. An exception to this is in bear country, where you want to make yourself as loud as possible so that if a bear does hear you, you can wander away from you. In many places, especially in bear country, there are ways to protect your food from animals. One method is bear hangs, another is bear canisters. These just help you protect your food overnight and help the animals to stay out of the campsite. Not only should we respect the animal, but sometimes animals carry diseases that, if we get, may be harmful and even cause death. Because of this, you shouldn't walk up to a wounded animal or try to save an animal that is about to die. They can bite and peck, scratch. This can send you to the hospital. This also affects how we camp. Should always be 200 feet away from a water source because animals drink from this water. It will minimize the impact of both the natural area and the impact we have on the animals. The 7th and final principle is to be considerate of other visitors. When you are considerate of other visitors and respect them, it helps everyone to enjoy their outdoor experience. Many people come to the outdoors to listen to nature, birdwatch, hike, get some solitude, and so there are different reasons why people come out. Excessive noise, uncontrolled pets, and damage take away from this natural appeal of the outdoors. Traveling in big group sizes can be fun for the group, but it really affects other people because of loud noises and it just feels obtrusive. Technology also plays an important part of this. If you are walking around the woods while blasting your music, it may be a little disrespectful to the people that want peace and quiet. There is a trail etiquette, and this trail etiquette is when you're hiking downhill and somebody is hiking uphill, that the person hiking downhill will step aside while the person can easily make their way up. This is just a rule of thumb, and in many places it may not even be an issue. There's also other people that use the wilderness and natural areas for mountain biking, horseback riding, or even ATV. If this is the case, the general rule is just to step aside and let them pass. If you are mountain biking or riding a horse, please stay in control, not going too fast, and being aware of other people that are around you. All the other principles also apply in this, like taking rest in durable surfaces and making sure you don't litter, making sure you pack out your waste. In general, if you think it's going to disrupt somebody else's experience, then don't do it. And please respect your neighbors. These are the 7 principles of Leave No Trace to limit your impact in natural areas. Thanks for listening, and hike on.